right. So first of all, it says simplify. The other day, we talked about 3 different ways to simplify. What's one of those ways? By asking if there is a what? A GCF. So one of the first things we can do is ask, is there a GCF? What was another thing we talked about we could do? An eye chart. I don't know if I missed something. By making an eye chart, and then when I have fractions, what do I always have to do to my fractions? Simplify or reduce, right? Reduce my fractions. So those are the 3 things we're looking for: GCFs, eye charts, and reducing fractions. So the first one says 24x squared y to the 5th over 32x to the 3rd y. First of all, I have a 24 and a 32. What can I divide them both by? 8. So if I divide by 8, I will get 3, and then I have 2 x's and 5 y's. And if you know how to do it without writing your letters out, then that's perfectly fine. What is 32 divided by 8? 4. With 3 x's and 1 y. What do I notice can happen? I can cross out 2 x's and 1 y. So what will be in the numerator of my answer? A 3 with what? Y to the 4th. And what will be in the denominator? 4, and I have a hidden x there. Make sure you find it. 4x. Can 3 over 4 be simplified anymore? No. No, then that would be my final answer. Questions on number 1. Could I have just divided by 2?
Yeah.
Yes, but then I'd have to try to keep dividing again until I get as small as I can, okay? Number 2, I see x's. Can I just cancel them out?
No.
Why not? Because they're attached. They're attached with that subtraction or an addition sign, so I can't just cancel things. So these are not reducing fractions. This is now asking if there is a GCF. And remember, you look at each side separately. So if I just look at the top, I have 4x minus 4. What is the GCF there? 4. So you have to write it 4, and then you have to tell me what's left over. So if I take a 4 out of 4x, I will have x. And what's negative 4 divided by 4 is a negative 1. Very good. In my denominator, what will my GCF be? 5. And then what will be left over? X minus 1. Will my parentheses always match? No. A lot of times, yes. Always, no. Okay. Now, what do I notice can happen now? My parentheses can cancel because x minus 1 is the only thing attached in both of them. So what is my reduced or simplified fraction? It's just 4/5. Okay. Questions? So today we're going to go to the ones that are a little bit more difficult. So I need you to have your out. I am just going to write, just a second. I am just going to write, let's try this one more time. Sorry. I am just going to write from the back of the notes we started yesterday, okay? If you have room on the notes you started yesterday, so here's my notes from yesterday. The notes that if you were absent, you should have watched the video for. I'm just going to turn and write on the back of my notes. That's up to you. If you don't do that, then you might want to still write 14A topic 1 at the top. So this is still 14A topic 1. Okay. We are only, let me set up here. We are only going to do 2 examples. So if you don't understand something, I need you to stop and ask. Okay. Grayson, put that away for a few minutes, please. So here is example number 1. Example number 1 is going to say x squared minus 2x minus 24 over 5x plus 20. Can I cancel anything out right now? No, because everything is attached with a plus or a minus sign. So we got to do the top and the bottom separately. The top has an x squared, an x, and a number. How can I break that down? By making an eye chart. I'm going to do mine over here on the far side. So I'm going to make an eye chart. You can do it wherever your little heart desires. What number goes at the top? -24. And what goes at the bottom? -2. So to get 24, I have 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. Am I adding or subtracting? Subtracting. Y'all, listen here, because here's another way to look at it. All subtraction means is that my signs have to be different. So I have to have one positive and I have to have one negative. That's what subtraction means, okay? So what numbers can I use to get -2? +4 and -6. So I'm going to rewrite the top as my two factors, x plus 4, x minus 6 in parentheses. Okay, bless you. My denominator, can I make an eye chart with my denominator? No, if I can't make an eye chart, then what do I have to ask? Is there a GCF? So 5x plus 20, what do they have the same? So I'm going to take my 5 out and tell me what's left over. So if I have 5x and I divide by 5, I have x. And then 20 divided by 5 is +4. Does anybody not know where these parentheses came from? Everybody understands that. Okay. What do I see can happen now? My x plus 4 and x plus 4 are exactly the same, so they can cancel out. So what will my final answer say? X minus 6 is on the top over 5, and that will be my final answer. Okay. Questions? Okay, let's go do one more. Number 2. Number 2 is going to say 2x squared minus 10x plus 12 over x squared plus 2x minus 15. So first of all, can my x squareds cancel out? No, nothing can cancel, nothing, because they're all being held together by plus and minus signs. So let's just look at the top. 2x squared minus 10x plus 12. Can I make an eye chart? No, I cannot. Why can I not make an eye chart? This x squared's not by itself. So first thing I need to do is ask, does it have a GCF? What can I divide all of those numbers on top by? So when I take out a 2, what will be left over? X squared minus 5x plus 6. Now can I go make an eye chart? So on the side of your paper, I want you to make an eye chart. So I have a +6 at the top, a -5 at the bottom. 1 and 6, 2 and 3. Here's where it's tricky. I can use 1 and 6 and I can use 2 and 3 to get a -5. Do we agree with that? You've got to know which one it is. So that's what I was trying to explain up here. So a subtraction sign means that my signs have to be different. An addition sign is adding, and when I add two things, their signs have to be the same. So they both have to be positive or they both have to be negative. So what numbers can I use to get a -5? -2, -3. Okay, so I'm going to move down here because I ran out of room. So my numerator is going to say x minus 2, x minus 3. But I still need a denominator. What am I doing with my denominator? GCF or eye chart? An eye chart. X squared by itself, so go make an eye chart. So I'm going to make my eye chart. At the top is negative 15, and at the bottom is positive 2. 1 and 15, 3 and 5. Are my signs the same or different? They are different. So how can I get a positive 2 with different symbols? Negative 3 and a positive 5. So in my denominator is x minus 3, x plus 5. Now freeze, we forgot something. We really forgot something on the numerator. What else has to be on that numerator? My GCF has to stay up there always. Now what do I notice can happen? My x minus 3's can cancel out. Can anything else cancel out? No, so I'm just going to rewrite my answer. So on top is 2 parentheses x minus 2 over x plus 5. And that would be my final answer. Questions? Do you have to put parentheses?
Yes.
Well, it depends. So yes, on the top one, I have to have parentheses. Do I have to have the parentheses on the bottom one? No, but I guarantee you when we get to multiplication, adding, subtracting, if you have them, it'll be way easier for your eyes and brain to recognize things. So I would get in the habit of putting them, okay? All right, on Wednesday, we did the problems that had numbers on them. Today, I have taught you how to do every problem on this paper. So you should have finished the ones with numbers. If not, you need to bust your butt today and get those finished. Then you can go back and do the ones that do not have the numbers on them. Are there questions? All right, so I really need you to work hard for me because we got to learn one more thing on Monday and then we're gonna have a quiz.